bookkeeping issue. It doesn't guarantee that we're not going to bring back these people or these positions. It's simply a cleanup with regard to our books. I don't have a problem with that. I promise you that from my perspective, I'll do everything I can to hold our administration responsible to bringing back those programs when money returns to the budget. But that's the only promise I can make.
By the way, both contracts allow people first rights back to the position they had if they were involuntarily moved. So just to let you know that contractually they have first rights back to a position if it's put back in place.
Thank you, Mark. Is there any other discussion at the board level?
If I can comment one more time.
Certainly.
So we have a new MOU we're working on. The state CSEA wanted us to do this with the district. They're very adamant that we do it, and they had their guidelines on this MOU. And it was, I think, 14 or 16 items long. And when we went through the MOU that the state wanted, it turned out that our contract was already more generous than what the state wanted. So at least if you look at contract type stuff and the way things roll, the CSEA's contract with this district is much better off than a lot of other districts in the state. So I think everybody should be a little bit more fortunate for that.
Thanks, Dan. Is everybody there?
Yeah.
Thought I might have lost somebody. So is there any other discussion at the board level?
Yeah. Jeannie texted me and said she's having a hard time staying pace and being on speaker. She texted me back and said that you know, I'm having a hard time. I'm losing connection. These cuts I am in favor of. To vote yes. Okay. So I don't know if we.
So are we ready? Are we ready? Are we ready? So are we ready for the vote now that our technology is doing weird stuff?
Yeah. Why you still
So
got
it's a roll.
Except Jeannie. We're dropping like flies.
So I need a motion and a second on this.
I move we approve this resolution.
Okay. Second.
I'll second.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing no further discussion, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Chavez?
Aye.
Mr. Colvig?
Aye.
Ms. King?
She can't vote. She can only on her phone. So I don't believe it's an official vote from a phone.
Yeah, if actually she can text it in if she wants, or she can do it via the comments if she can. So Jeannie, if you can, please vote. And then Ms. Nunez?
Aye.
And myself, aye.
Text Alex your vote. I'm going to have her text you, Alex.
Okay.
That her cell phone works better than her internet does.
Got it.
But
so I believe that's the only item that's on the agenda.
that is correct.
Is there anything for any comment on items not on the agenda?
No, I have had all the building principals have met with their staffs, their leadership groups, to talk about professional development that they want to do. The goal is to use those days prior to the August. And I'm going to get all that info together. I'll let you folks see it, but in particular, Tessa needs to see it so we can draft some type of MOU to correspond to that. because it's going to be different. Some are going to meet by grade level, some have building meetings, some have content meetings like the high school. So it's
So
very,
I was in contact with one teacher, and that teacher was basically, they would like to, that individual said that they would like to have this stuff occur sometime in August as opposed to earlier. However, if the instructors that we're bringing in were only available during specific dates, like for example in July, then they'd be amenable to doing those dates. But if we're only doing stuff in July just because it's quote convenient for administration, they'd like to discuss those dates before we put them in concrete.
yeah, well, I was very clear with my principals. This is about getting teachers in, and they're all about that. They're not trying to get them forced in. It looked to me like there were a few of them who wanted to do something in June, but then most of them seemed like they were early August dates.
Right. So yeah, I think, yeah, anything in August sounds like it's going to be preferable to earlier. People do have summers that they want to take at least some advantage of, and I don't blame them. But I got the impression that most are going to be, if you have outside instructors coming in that are only available in certain dates, they'll do their very best to accommodate those dates. But if there are dates available in August as opposed to July, they would prefer August dates, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, and I'm not
And
trying to.
it sounds like you just need,
Yeah,
sounds like you just need to work out those details through Tessa and the leadership group.
yep. The other thing, the parent survey, we're at about 260 responses, which is not really where I wanted to be. We're about 1/6 of the people. We sent out another notification today to cell phones, home phones, voicemail, email, website, Twitter, Facebook, everything, district webpage, to try and ramp our number up.
Okay.
You know, we can only go so far, and at some point we got to take the data and extrapolate it out to what it looks like.
I would think that somewhere around, say, the end of the first week in July, we should probably cut off and just use the data we've got at that point.
Yeah, we'll see where we're at. I told them they needed to get it done this week, and so we'll see where we go. We'll see if our numbers spike.
Okay.
I hope they do, but
Well, I was watching, I saw I think I sent you an email with it. The California Department of Education came back and said that they're going to require masks for children and adults.
right.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
The lands.
One of our big issues is busing. And there's a thing out, I believe it was CSBA who put it out, that you can put 28 on a bus as long as you diagonal seat and they're wearing masks. And people from the same family can sit together. So they have the number 28 out now on a bus.
Yeah, the landscape is going to continue to change. We're just going to have to kind of keep our thumb on it and keep watching and see how this thing all plays out.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of hope for it to being anything practical, to be quite honest with you, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Any further comments by anybody for anything not on the agenda?
Yeah, I just want a little clarification. When you set up the in-service time, they're days in a cluster, right? It's like all 4 days are together, or maybe 2 of them one week and 2 the next. They're not all spread out. Isn't that right?
I'm not setting any of them up. So it's done building by building.
Oh, okay.
Totally driven by the teachers and the admin. When they get
okay.
people in, what do they need to do? Some of them may be, like Brookside is talking about kindergartens meeting together, then first grade, then second grade, and they're setting their own dates.
Oh, okay.
And I'm perfectly fine with that as long as Kathleen's part of them. And, you know, we don't have something dramatically different in second grade than first grade.
Yeah.
So I want this to be teacher driven. I'm not their expert in how to get ready in case we got to go homeschool with a first grader.
Yeah. Okay.
The 16-to-1, if we're that 16-to-1 in a room, I don't have any in-service issues. They know what to do. I'm most concerned that they build some type of home instructional piece that's going to be quality. And I've thrown the ideas out and the buildings are running with it. And, you know, like I said, this isn't Mark's plan. It's my job is to help them get into a schedule. My job is to help them with staffing and rooms and all that. Their job is to do the instructional piece.
And you've had a chance to speak with whomever you needed to speak with about having 32 kids for a kindergarten teacher?
Yeah, it's no different than a high school teacher.
Well, it is different, but
Well, it is obviously, but
yeah, but no, I mean in their contracts as well as I understood that the state had its guidelines about kindergartens and how many students, and no kindergarten teacher doing 2 classes in a day. And so that's,
I've never seen that. So I don't know if that exists somewhere where it is. But
okay.
if that's not the case, you blew up Brookside, and you would have to add 3 staff members to Brookside to make it happen.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that most of the rules and ed code and all that are going to be waived based on common sense. I've talked to all of the other districts. I was on with all of the superintendents from Mendocino. We're the only one going to reduce class size at the elementary, with the exception of some of them who are obviously already there, who are tiny. But Fort Bragg, Ukiah, Anderson Valley, none of them are going to reduce class size because they can't. And so,
That does not sound like it's going to work well.
no, and they're talking about 2 days on, 2 days off. Ukiah's talking about a 4x4 high school schedule where they're seeing kids on alternate days. And I'm like, why would you see more groups than less? But whatever. I'm not in charge of their gig. I'm just trying to, you know, let's just say they were all taking a lot of notes when I went through our program, because I don't think they
Yeah.
were thinking outside the box very far. But
Okay.
where we go.
Okay, so
I might say that Mark is very correct about the thinking outside the box part. This whole thing is a very evolutionary process, and everybody needs to be open to being flexible with it, to work with it, and, you know, just try to take notes and see how we could make it work better, because it's going to be a cluster, and everybody needs to partake and be open-minded about it to try to help it work.
yeah, thank you, Dan. Basically, everybody needs to be part of the solution. Just that simple.
All right, I'm good.
Okay, so barring that, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Oh,
I
somebody's,
move we adjourn.
there you go, Bob.
Is there a second out there?
I'll second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So thanks, everybody. Hopefully
Alex,
got somebody's,
Alex, when are you leaving?
I'm leaving on July 5th.
Okay,
I'll be back around the 10th.
okay, no problem.
Okay?
All right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be gone long. Thank you.
Bye.
Everyone later. Bye-bye.